Every life has a soundtrack, and every song has a story. Turn up the memories and take the journey. This is Jukebox Journey.
Hey y'all, if you had to tell somebody the story of your life using only five musicians, who would you choose? Not necessarily the five greatest musicians who ever lived, not even the five you listen to the most. I'm talking about the ones who can play three notes and suddenly you're not sitting where you are anymore. You're back in the kitchen, riding down a highway, dancing in a living room, going through something you weren't sure you would survive. Or maybe discovering something about yourself you didn't know was there. Music is funny like that. Sometimes you don't remember the year. You don't remember what you were wearing. You don't even remember everybody who was there. But you remember the song, and suddenly you remember everything. Hey, y'all, welcome back to Jukebox Journey. Now, let's take a ride.
This ain't just a channel, this is BBTV.
All right, listen here. I'm B, and welcome. This show is about music, but probably not in the way you're thinking. Listen, I'm not here to tell you who the greatest singer is of all time. I'm not ranking albums, and I'm certainly not qualified to settle whatever argument the internet is having about music this week. But this is about the music that is attached to our lives because I believe everybody has a soundtrack. There are songs that remind us of people, of musicians who take us back to places and albums that got us through really thick times. Sometimes there's a song you haven't heard in 20 years, but the second it starts playing, there you are again. That's what I want Jukebox Journey to be. Now, my stories, for now, until hopefully you bring me yours, my memories, my music, and really, hopefully, somewhere along the way, something I tell you reminds you of yours, and maybe you'll send me an email about it and let me know. Hey, hit that like and subscribe for me while we're at it. So, tonight we're starting right at the beginning. Hello, how are you? Good to see you. Um, we're going to start right at the beginning with a question that sounds really simple, but it isn't. Now, this is going to be a little bit like Ask a Bee for you. I will be putting a letter up to read. It's a short one, but I think it's appropriate. So I'm going to scoot on over here, and here we go. All right. Dear B, I've heard you talk about music enough to know that it isn't just something playing in the background for you. You attach people to music, places to music, and different parts of your life to music. Oh, thank you so much for the jewels. Very, very appreciative. Thank you, thank you. So, I want to know what happens when you have to narrow all of that down. If you could choose only five musicians to help tell the story of your life, who would they be? And I don't mean just singers. They can be singers, songwriters, instrumentalists, performers, band members, or any musician whose work became connected to a piece of your story. Wow, what a wonderful thing to ask. Oh, thank you so much. Look, I really appreciate you for that. Thank you. So, they don't have to be five musicians you think are the greatest of all times. They don't even have to make sense to anybody else. I want the five who make sense to be. Oh, what a nice question to have. All right, second half of our letter here. Who takes you somewhere the second you hear their music? Who reminds you of somebody you love? Who represents a particular time in your life? Who helped you through something? My goodness, you have a lot of questions for me, but I'll try and answer them. And is there somebody whose music didn't just become part of your story, but actually challenged you to discover something about yourself? Basically, B, if your life had a jukebox and I gave you five selections to tell me who you are and where you've been, whose names would be on it? Signed, waiting on track one. Okay, that is, see, I had to prepare for this one, I'll be honest, because this is quite a list of questions here. But again, I am going to try and answer all of those for you. I promise, okay? So, first let's start with number 1, because I don't have a particular order. So we're not going to do, oh well, number 5 is best or number 1. Neither or, they're all the same for me. They're heartfelt, and music is important to me, right? Pardon me. So, my first will probably always be in Dolly Parton. You know, the music that takes me back to my granny. Everything about Dolly, and I am 55 next month. For those of you that want to call me grandmother, I am very happily taking that compliment. Thank you. So, everything about Dolly, it sparkles, especially her heart. I mean, you have to know a little bit about Dolly. And I don't expect you to, because not everybody is a country fan, okay? But you know, she's written some rock songs too. So, inducted, yes, in the Hall of Fame, absolutely. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But listen, she never had children of her own, right? Yet she's done so much for children throughout her life. But for me, Dolly also means my granny, okay? She would play Dolly's records while we baked or sewed or whatever it was. And of course, I sang. And that's where I got my love of singing and ended up in choir. And well, I was even in band, okay? I did really good too. And I still sing at the top of my lungs every chance I get. But Granny loved hearing me sing. You know, and this is what you asked for, so I'm going to give you the little bits and pieces. I ain't going too deep, but my grandmother was very special to me. I lived with her for a good amount of years, with and without my parents. Um, and, well, the crazy lady decided she would give her birthday away to my second son and then took off. It's okay. She was ready. She needed to. We all go when we're called, right? But Granny loved hearing me sing. It's funny. At my first concert where I performed a solo, my very first solo, and before anybody gets into this, yes, the song I sang was edited, okay? She was sitting in the audience while I was singing Hard Candy Christmas by Dolly. The second safe version, okay, the safe version, the school safe version, of course. Dolly doesn't just sound like music to me, okay? She sounds like Granny's house. She sounds like sitting next to her in her sewing machine chair while I'm on a stool watching her hands glide. You know, it sounds like Granny to me. And when Dolly came out with Coat of Many Colors, I wish that I could have been with my grandmother the first time she heard it. I'm telling you, she would have gone crazy over it. Absolutely crazy over it. And it wasn't just the sewing or the baking. We'd be in the car, she'd be taking me to school, or we'd be going somewhere, anywhere, because I spent a lot of time with my grandmother. We would be going anywhere. And it was amazing because we would have the most fun because she would just turn it up. And you'd think, okay, grandma's going to turn it down, but that's not what my grandmother did. Not my grandmother. She was not the same. She was she was awesome. and she would turn it up the best she could stand because, of course, it was country music. She loved it. She was going to listen to it. And then she would sing it, girl. I would be sitting there upset from whatever happened. And she'd say that. I'd look over and she'd have this smile on her face, like, I got to hear you. She would call me. She'd say, I need to see your face. You know, she had those moments. But then, um, there were other things, you know. She, well, she was at every one of my concerts. She was at every school event the entire time. When my dad went into the Air Force and went overseas to Vietnam, that's where we stayed, you know, stuff like that. So the next in my journey is going to be my daddy. My mama has hers. She's coming, I promise. But my daddy, Eddie Rabbitt, he's probably going to laugh at me about it too, if he ever sees this. But Eddie Rabbitt, riding down the road with my daddy, listening to Eddie Rabbitt, it's always going to make me think about him. And we'd ride down the road to the drop zone, or leaving the drop zone, whichever one, singing "I Love a Rainy Night." Yeah, we'd have family parties, and Dad would dance with me. And I remember him trying to teach me to do something like the jitterbug. I'm not really sure what it really was, but I mean, it was fun, and I didn't care if I learned. We had a great time. And he's such a good dancer anyway. And, you know, back then, my dad and Eddie could have passed for brothers. Honestly, curly dark hair, mustache, beard. Some songs, voice too, okay? Because my dad's probably where I got my voice at. And I'm great with that because he's got such a good voice. There's so many things we used to do. I mean, lots of different songs that we used to sing, but the Eddie Rabbitt ones are the ones that are more prominent to me because I, if anybody is from the DFW area, you would know about, I guess I was pretty young, probably around 6, 7, 8. There was a tunnel between Euless and Irving that was from the airport. It was like a taxiway or something. And it was so long and so dark. And first time my dad took me through it, I was a little scared. The next time, I was never scared again. In fact, I was laughing by the time I got out the other side. Okay. And all the while that we're doing all this stuff, he's got Eddie Rabbitt in the background, or Don Williams. Don Williams too. But this thing was so long, he'd tell me before we got there, all right, you need to get ready. The tunnel's coming up. The idea was to hold my breath until I got to the other side, which obviously was easy as pie. But of course, my dad, when I'm 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, is sitting there going, you know, just to make me laugh and let go of my air. I remember these things. It's crazy. I remember these things. I was too young then, but I was in the store the other day, and believe it or not, Eddie Rabbitt comes on. It's like, wow, I had to call my daddy. And this week has been so much about him anyway, with his birthday 2 days ago and everything, which I got to talk to him. And funny thing, his birthday, he's in Arkansas. And yes, that's where I was born. I wasn't there long. I'm from Texas, okay? Nothing about Arkansas. For you negative Nellies, I loved it. I've been back. Okay? So, you know, some songs, they really don't remind you of somebody either. They kind of bring them right back into the room in most cases. It's not just remembering, it's like playing that whole movie as a repeat over and over and over again every time you hear that song. So I guess I should move on. We are a little further into this. I'm going to try to keep this at 30 minutes, but we'll see. Got a lot to say today. So, number 3, and remember, no order here. Casey and the Sunshine Band. This one's for my mama. This one's for my mama. You know, when my mom and dad were still together, they split up when I was 4 years old. No worries. Love them both. Um, Me and the pool table. Okay. First off, let me tell you, my mother's name, okay, her initials were KC. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there. Yes, my mother's name was Karen. And let me tell you something, when that first started, I was pissed. Quit talking about my mama. Hi, Ellen Smile. How are you, sweet doll? Good to see you. I'm so happy to see you, honey. How are you? So, yeah, my mother's name was Karen. She was every bit the definition of Karen now, and she would have owned that. She would have absolutely owned her name, no doubt. We used to call her the Dragon Lady at work. We did, and it was true. And let me tell you something. She knew it. Yeah. She loved us anyway, but she was hard. She was real hard. But, you know, Casey and the Sunshine Band, of course, Casey. And it had to be hers. You know, she'd put me up on my dad's pool table, okay? And let me dance and sing to Shake Your Booty. Yep. She had several songs. I think there was one like, oh crap, I forget the name of the band, but the name of the song was Heaven's Just a Sin Away. Good to see you. I had just had surgery Tuesday for your, oh honey, I didn't know if you were having surgery again or not. I did see a little update on that not too long ago. You know what? You go tell that doctor I'm giving him permission to just trade you in for some newer models, okay? Just give her a new hip, give her a new. Make this woman well, please, God. Okay? Oh my goodness. No more surgeries for a while. You're going to scare me, lady. I can't get there fast enough. You be good. Okay? Yes, I know. Oh, on the other knee? Oh my gosh. I knew about the first one. I think I talked to you. That's when I talked to you the last. My goodness, lady. Would you behave yourself? No more surgeries. Tell them doctors give you a break. Now, see, if you got to hurt yourself, at least be doing something fun, right? You go, girl. You do it, baby girl. You go ahead and have a good time with it, too. Tell them doctors give you a break so you can get back to it. That's what you need to do. Tell them call me. I'll tell them what for. I promise. All right. So, yeah, back to my mom. She had several different songs. Also, um, she had, well, I'm probably going to get her in trouble for this, but Rod Stewart, do you think I'm sexy? She said, I used to shake my butt. It was probably the Casey and Sunshine Band song that she got started with that, and then she just had to see more shaking of my butt standing on the pool table. But when you're, 3, 4 years old, that's probably one of the best things to see anyway. And a baby's laugh is the best sound on top of music. But that one Casey and the Sunshine Band song, Shake Your Booty, was always our favorite for obvious reasons. Before I ever even knew what performing was, Mama was already giving me a stage. And that was great. So, here I am. Hope you're happy, Mommy. I'm doing it somehow, right? Yeah. All right, we're going to move on to number 4 because I am 20 minutes into this 30 and I'm going to bed early tonight. All right. Yes, I know it's Saturday night. I'm old like that. 55 next month. I don't care. I'm old, and that's just how it goes. Sorry, not sorry. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Oh, man, you know what? I've got a Casey and Sunshine Band record, and it's wore out because I still have turntable. I put that sucker on because it don't sound good unless it's got the scratches or the skips. It's like, get that, get that, get that. No, no, it's get down tonight, please. All right, so number 4. Gosh, I just cracked myself up with that, didn't I? Number 4. Good. At least you're getting a laugh out of it, Ellen. I'm so happy. All right, number 4. I'm going to touch a little rock here because Nikki Sixx, okay? He used to be the, the bassist of Motley Crue. Now, yes, I've showed pictures where he's on my wall when I was a teenager and all that stuff. Yes, I've had a crush on that man since I could probably breathe. But this is different, okay? This is just about him and the time of my life that he started this part, making something beautiful out of ugly parts, right? With Nikki Sixx, it's less about where he started and more about what came afterwards. The addiction destroyed pieces of his life, but look at what he made from what survived. Listen, I've read the Heroin Diaries cover to cover, and addiction is something that has touched my own life and my family. Not everybody gets out, right? That's why his story means something to me. He took things society might call damaged or deformed or even ugly, and he turned them into music and writing and photography and arts. If you see his second book, I think it's Life is Beautiful. It's it has disabled people that he has put in costumes and made living art with, and it's just absolutely amazing because his photography is top notch for somebody that's been through as much as he's been through. But sometimes what survives the ugliest part of your life becomes the most beautiful part of yourself. And I really think that's what he did with his second book. Yep. Song Doobie. Yeah. So, okay, one more final. I have a fifth. I'm supposed to do 5 as according to the letter. Um, y'all don't laugh at me. And no, I'm not going to give you a sample today, but Christina Aguilera. Yeah, yes, that young little lady. Listen, back in my day, we had some pretty brave altos out there. But Christina, oh my gosh, y'all, Christina Aguilera she's brave and she's got the voice and obviously she's beautiful, but I'm talking about her artistry here, okay, right? She's got such runs that, and I mean runs by her voice, not by the bathroom, okay? Don't go confusing that, trying to mess with me. All 50,000 of you sitting here watching. But if you know music, you know what I mean by a run when she goes up and then down and then up and then down and then up and then it's a run. It's multiple sounds and notes in one breath. Yes, she has a beautiful voice, doesn't she, Ellen? But finding out what my own voice can do, Christina is different. This one is about me testing my limits too. She's an alto, as am I, and her music challenges the hell out of me. When I can hit one of those notes or actually match one of those runs, it's ridiculously exciting because I know there was a time when I couldn't do it. I didn't get there by avoiding the hard songs, okay? I got there by singing them over and over and pushing my voice further and further. And you know what? This comes natural to her, and that's terrifying to me because, I mean, hello, that's amazing. And of course, I'm going to keep singing her music because I just absolutely love to. I prefer singing to others' country music because it's just, well, listen to my voice. You hear the twang. Come on. Sometimes you don't know what you're capable of, though, until somebody else's talent makes you reach more. And I really think that that's what she's done for me. And, uh huh. Yes, yes, Ellen, yes, honey, exactly who I'm talking about. Exactly who I'm talking about. Oh my gosh, Genie in a Bottle. Oh my gosh, the first time I heard her do that one, I was like, oh yeah, I can do that, no problem. Get about halfway through it, I'm like, well, okay. But then she brings out Lady Marmalade, and I'm telling you, I take from the beginning of that song to right before she hits that, taking deep breaths because I know I'm going to own it if I can. And that is every time she starts out, when she starts singing, she's got to have a, she belts everything. She's a belter. I'm a belter. She's a belter. I think that's why I like her most, is because I don't need a microphone. And this bitch don't need one either. She's got lungs for days, right? It's fun to really try as hard as possible and then actually hit that run or actually hit that really high note that altos don't normally get. But then you go back to later, well, earlier in my life, I guess I should say, to like Whitney Houston or even Aretha Franklin or Patti LaBelle, or you know what? There's no comparison, but it's been there all the time. It's just brought out differently, right? So, when I started thinking about five musicians, I thought I was picking music. I wasn't. I was picking memories and places and people and different versions of myself. And that's the thing about music. Your your five probably aren't my five, okay? And they shouldn't be because you didn't live my life and I didn't live yours. But I bet you have them. You've got a soundtrack. Those musicians who belong to somebody loved, who you loved, the song that takes you back to being a kid, you know? No, I'm not talking about I love you. Okay? That's not the one. The music that followed you through the harder years. And maybe the musician who made you reach a little further and find out there was something inside you that you hadn't discovered yet. I'm telling you, it's all over the place. That's the way it happens. It just goes that way. All right, y'all, that's your jukebox journey. This one is mine. So before you leave, I want you to think about it. If you only got five, who would be in your jukebox? I'll be back next week, next Saturday, 8 p.m. Central, for another Jukebox Journey. In fact, I have a new schedule. Let me announce that now. Okay. I'm here all week, starting last Wednesday, I suppose, all week at 8 p.m. Central, Monday through Friday for Ask a Bee. Saturday is your Jukebox Journey, and then Sunday we're working on a little show that may or may not happen this weekend. We will see about it. That one, yeah, it's going to be for tomorrow if we can make it. Until then, turn it up. Sing it badly if you have to. Sing it beautifully if you can. Dance in the kitchen. Remember somebody you love, and don't ever apologize for loving the music that helped make you who you are. I'm Bee, and I'll buzz you later.
I want to take a minute to shout out Tuber Chat. If you're a creator who's tired of surface level advice, says, and actually wants to understand how YouTube works, that's the space. It's real conversations with real creators who are in the trenches, building channels, testing ideas. No posturing, no gatekeeping, no fake guru energy, just people sharing what's working, what isn't, and why. If you're serious about growing, learning, and not doing this alone, check out Tuber Chat. The link is in the description.
Every life has a soundtrack, and every song has a story. Turn up the memories and take the journey. This is Jukebox Journey.
Boss be rising, baby TV.